The New York Times is purchasing the recently viral puzzle game Wordle. I can think of a few four-letter words for this situation.
And Sony felt left out of the party, so they decided to buy Bungie. What does this mean? We'll talk about all this and more right now on Gaming News Weekly. What's up, everybody? Welcome back for another episode of Gaming News Weekly. We got another big week of exciting video game news. We are the best weekly video game news show that there is out there. My name is Erock the Red. I'm joined every week by Full Clip. What is going on, brother? How are you today?
Doing great, man. Excited about some of this news. Yeah.
All the time. I'm excited about all the news all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all the time. I call you up every day. I said, let's do more news. And you're like, dude, we're Gaming News Weekly. It's a weekly thing. Yeah. It's not a daily thing.
You say you'll never believe the new controversy and scandal. I love it.
Exactly. Yeah, so what's been going on? You been playing any games or anything?
I checked out a new game this past week, Satisfactory. It's like a sort of a factory sim game.
Oh, pun! I love a game with a good pun title.
Oh yeah, vibes of No Man's Sky as far as like base building, sort of that Fallout style of base building as well.
Okay.
But your whole goal in this thing: collect the resources, chain all these machines together, try to make it to where you don't have to lift a finger to do anything ever again.
Gotcha.
And
okay.
It's building massive pieces, and you're sending things into space. It's pretty crazy.
What sort of things are you manufacturing?
Well, for now, it's basic stuff, making some screws and some sheet metal and things like that, and that's to build your starter machines. Then we're getting into like copper, building basic electronics, filling deliveries, and then that unlocks even more stuff to build.
Nice. That sounds fun. I like the gameplay hook of that. It sounds interesting. Now, how is it difficult to, with me, these games, is it difficult to acquire the resources? And also, do you have a limited amount of space in your backpack?
It is kind of like that. It's not difficult to acquire the resources. You get like auto miners and things. So you just find the seam. The problem is really getting enough of what you need as you go forward, because you need more and more and more. You have to keep ramping up production. Gotcha.
My dog is just out here, just walking around. She's blind, so she just bumps into things. Nice. Yeah, that sounds good. What did I get up to this week? I didn't play much of anything again. I've been slacking. I played a little bit more Guardians of the Galaxy, and then just there's a Rocket League event. So I did a bunch of that over the weekend. But yeah, nothing new. I'm just really waiting for Elden Ring. I'm just like ready.
Nice.
I'm just not playing anything until that game comes out sometime in February. I forget when. February 22nd or 26th or something. But
right around the corner.
Yeah, it's getting close. I'm going to take the day off of work, I decided, and
nice.
Just it's been a while since I've been able to just like really fall in love with a game. And I'm hoping that this is the one that does it for me. We'll see.
That's a great gamer move, taking the day off of work.
Oh, dude, I'm ready. I haven't been taking many days off, so I'm due. Although, like, we got a ton more snow today, so I think I may have to take a half day tomorrow to clean up some snow. Not really an enjoyable day off, but you know.
Oh yeah,
they can't all be. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about our new releases from last week. First up, we had Life is Strange, the remastered collection. This came out February 1st on PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Stadia. Now, this is two games, Life is Strange and then Life is Strange Before the Storm. Now, they're remastered, updated visuals, animations. Some of the gameplay has all been, just revamped, just made better. Have you ever played any of the Life is Strange games?
Have not. I remember when they first came out. Yeah, it seems interesting.
Yeah, it's a great story. Basically what they are, they're like kind of like an adventure game, a point and click adventure game. You walk around, you like find information clues, and then there's cutscenes and that sort of thing. So it's more like a story not so much based on the gameplay, but great story, great characters, really good acting and dialogue. I definitely recommend them. I never played the second one, so maybe this is my chance to get in there and check it out, because I'm hearing great things about these as far as the way they look, how they're really updated for these consoles. And you could always, I'll play it on the PS5. Obviously, it didn't come out for the PlayStation 5, but I'm sure that'll give it a nice little extra little boost as well.
Yeah.
Our other game came out February 4th. This is Dying Light 2 Stay Human. PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox X, and I think that's it for that one. But this one, I know people are super excited for this one. It's an action role-playing game, full open world, zombies everywhere. You're doing parkour, jumping all over everything. You got to collect resources and build weapons. And, I'm hearing it's a huge world. It's right now it's at a 79, right around 76 to 79 on Metacritic, depending on what you're playing it on. But I'm hearing that it's a great open world story, but it's kind of like a boring game. So the gameplay is fun. The parkour is fantastic. The killing zombies with different weapons and stuff is great, but the story is meh, and it's like riddled with bugs right now. Like tons of game crashes and stuff like that, depending on what system you're playing it on. But did you play the first Dying Light?
I did. It was a long time ago, long enough that I had like an Xbox One launch console.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really surprised just like a year ago to hear that there was such a dedicated fan base on PC keeping it alive.
Yeah. Yeah, people love that game, man. Like, huge fans of it. I played it for a while. I think I got stuck at a part and I never went back. Because like it's interesting. Like, so you need to be out during the day getting your resources and things and doing most of your exploring during the day, because at night these zombies come out and they're like unstoppable.
All hell breaks loose. You better run for the nearest safe point.
Exactly. Yeah. So you're not fighting the zombies at night. So it's interesting. This is another one I want to keep an eye on. Reviews are great. Unfortunately, some bugs that are affecting it, and those will get cleared up at some point too. So this will probably be one I'll wait and grab on sale. All right, that is it for our new releases from last week. It's another slow week in the video game world, but we're getting some big titles here. This is a big one. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Let's switch it up. Let's talk about our news of the week. Lots of exciting news this week. This is another one I was excited for. We had the last few weeks have just been bing, bang, boom, bam, boom. You know what I'm saying? That's the news coming at you. Bing, bang, boom. Right? That's a good sound effect.
That's Microsoft gobbling up.
Exactly. In this case, though, Microsoft ain't gobbling up nothing. It's Sony. Sony is buying Bungie for $3.6 billion. Now, Bungie is the developer of Destiny and the creator of the Halo series, and now owned by Sony. Now, a lot of people were saying that this is like this is their way of competing with the other acquisitions, the Take-Two and Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard. This has been in development for 5 to 6 months is what I'm hearing. And they've been planning a lot of big things for this thing with Bungie. All right, I got a couple quotes from some big name people involved in this thing. So first up, Pete Parsons, the CEO of Bungie, wrote, in Sony Interactive Entertainment, we have found a partner who unconditionally supports us in all we are and who wants to accelerate our vision to create generations-spanning entertainment, all while preserving the creative independence that beats in Bungie's heart. Like us, SIE believes that game worlds are only the beginning of what our IPs can become. Together, we share a dream of creating and fostering iconic franchises that unite friends around the world, families across generations, and fans across multiple platforms and entertainment mediums. So, right there, we're getting a little bit of an idea. Now, this has been a big part of everything we're hearing about this. It's not just the developers, it's not just the Bungie that Sony is purchasing. It's the IPs that they're creating. It's these franchises they want to build. So we're hearing more and more about that, and we'll get to it. But let me just read a couple more things. So Jim Ryan, the president and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment, said, Bungie's world-class expertise in multi-platform development and live game services will help us deliver on our vision of expanding PlayStation to hundreds of millions of gamers. And then the head of PlayStation Studios, Herman Hulst, said, Bungie's technical expertise coupled with their track record of building highly engaged communities make them a natural fit for collaboration with PlayStation Studios. We're excited to make plans to share skills and expertise and to unlock the potential in having the brilliant minds at Bungie under the PlayStation roof. So yeah, basically those three quotes right there tell us everything we need to know about this acquisition. First of all, Bungie will continue to independently publish and creatively develop their own games. So first of all, there's that. The other thing, the exclusivity of these games, like Destiny and that sort of thing. They want these games available to everybody. They also said right away, they said, in regards to the exclusivity, that we want the worlds we are creating to extend to anywhere people play games. We will continue to be self-published, creatively independent, and we will continue to drive one unified Bungie community. So right there, you know, if you're a PC gamer or Xbox fan, you don't have to worry about losing Bungie titles or Destiny. So right there, that's pretty cool. And then we also heard later, in relation to these quotes, during an earnings call with Sony CFO Hiroki Totoki. That's a nice rhythmic name. I like that. It's probably not pronounced that way, but I'm going to say it like that. But he was asked what other benefits the acquisition of Destiny, creates, and he said, Bungie want to nurture the IP they have in a multi-dimensional manner, and that's their hope. For that, we believe we can help that. We have Sony Pictures and Sony Music, and Bungie can leverage our platform so that their IP can flourish and grow big. So that's right there. We could see kind of what we're leaning towards here. We're gonna maybe have like Destiny out there doing, movies. They already said Destiny. Bungie said they wanted to take Destiny into books, television, movies, that sort of thing. So this is a big step for, to help Bungie achieve their goals as far as getting Destiny out there in those mediums. And then for Sony to kind of expand on what they're creating. Now we've seen Uncharted is coming out, and like there's a bunch of other movie type, TV show or video game TV shows or movies in the works from Sony, Last of Us, and a couple other things. So yeah, this is it's very interesting with this acquisition. It's very different from the ones we've talked about previously. They already know, they're being pretty transparent with what this was all about and what they are setting out to go. It's not about getting the upper hand as far as exclusivity or games. It's just really about creating more. So, I think had we talked about this under a different, not so close to the acquisition of the Microsoft ones, which seemed like a really like going for the jugular type move. This one's just business as usual. Now it's a $3.6 billion business as usual acquisition, but it's a huge thing. Destiny is huge. A lot of people are still playing it. The new DLC is like one of the biggest ones like ever as far as gameplay and that sort of thing. So yeah, there's a lot here.
Yeah, so I see a lot of people making that comparison because we just came off of the news of the largest gaming deal ever with Microsoft acquiring Activision Blizzard. there's a sentiment that I see that is too little, too late, or that this is a response
Hmm.
to that deal, and like, look at Sony. But yeah, like you said, this is just kind of business as usual.
Yeah.
They've been acquiring studios.
Yep.
They've all been acquiring smaller studios.
Yeah. This is the 6th studio acquisition for Sony since last year. So they've been getting a lot of studios. I mean, like Blue Point and yeah, and it's happening. And they even said Jim Ryan said that this is not the last studio that this is not the last acquisition. He basically said. So another quote from him. I've been on the record talking about increasing the size of the PlayStation community and expanding beyond our historic console heartland. This can take many forms. We are starting to go multi-platform. You've seen that. We have an aggressive roadmap with live services and the opportunity to work with and particularly learn from the brilliant and talented people from Bungie that is going to considerably accelerate the journey we find ourselves on. So, so they've got a big picture in their mind of what they want to do. And this is a piece of that. So,
yeah,
we'll see more.
I've loved everything about my experience on PlayStation 4. I did not move to the PlayStation 5, but I wouldn't go so far as to call myself a big Sony fanboy.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say this, I'm not trying to jump in front of the bullet of public perception for Sony, but I think they're going to be all right well into the future. Because like we said about when we were talking about the acquisition and, Microsoft, is this sort of a monopoly? They were still going to be behind Sony as far as size of a game publisher.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, so it's definitely, they're doing different things. We've always talked about how, Sony's focused on their first-party games, and now they're going to have more first-party games with these acquisitions they keep making. Microsoft working on their games library as far as available to the public, not first-party titles. They're doing different things. They're both growing. We'll just see where they go. One thing we know that Sony is doing, and one of the next things that I want to talk about, also from that same earnings call with Hiroki Totoki, they announced that Sony is going to be setting out to create more than 10 live service games by the end of March 31st, 2026. Now, for those unfamiliar with live service games, basically that means like games that are constantly updated and expected to survive over time. So not like a simple story game, something like Destiny. And that's one of the reasons they acquired Destiny. They said right off the bat that the amount of stuff that they could learn from Destiny, from Bungie, in regards to live service games is huge. Like Destiny is probably one of the biggest. They've been going since I think the first Destiny came out in 2014. That wasn't the best. Yeah. That was a very rough start, but they came back and they created a really cool world. It'll be interesting to see what they come up with in terms of these live service games. 10 of them from now until 2026, which is kind of getting away from what they've been good at. Sony's been great at making these like story heavy first party games, which, I'm sure they'll still do, but they're realizing these live service games, that's where the money is. Some information about that. From calendar year 2014 to calendar year 2021, the size of the global game content market doubled, driven by add-on content revenue from live game services, which grew at an average annual rate of 15% during this period, and they expect the trend to continue going forward. So, it's not about buying that one title every couple months. It's about that extended period of time that you're paying for, like, battle passes and skins and stuff like that. We're seeing that with a lot of these free-to-play titles now making just tons of money. So, it'll be interesting to see what Sony puts out there.
I'm interested to see what they define as live service games, because there are those games like Destiny 2 that have survived for years on DLC, but there's also the yearly Call of Duty titles, and we have a season pass system now. So if they're going to call that the same thing, like a service, but it only lasts a year, I can see them pumping out 10 titles in the next 4 years. Otherwise, I mean, if these are all like 10 huge games that they expect people to play for years, that's a lot of content in an already kind of saturated gaming market right now.
Yeah, it is. And it's, I mean, the thing with these is they need to be good. Like we saw it with the Avengers game. Instead of focusing on a good, story game about the Avengers, like they made it a live service game, and it sucked. Like it was similar in to Destiny and in the things that they had you doing, but like it had no heart, had no soul. It was very, very just bland. And like they just had you repeating the same things to try to like get new skins or get new gear and like all this stuff. So it was like there's a fine line with creating something that's going to stick. If you're going to have people keep coming back to your game day after day for years, it's got to be, the content needs to be spot on, either the gameplay needs to be amazing or like, it needs to have that hook that's going to keep people coming back and not bored or not, just something that's going to keep them. Another thing that Hiroki said in this thing, he said, the strategic significance of this acquisition lies not only in obtaining the highly successful Destiny franchise as well as major new IP that Bungie is currently developing, but also in incorporating into the Sony group the expertise and technologies that Bungie has developed in the live game services space. We intend to utilize these strengths when developing games at game IP at the PlayStation Studios as we expand in the live game services area. So right now we see, he said that Bungie's working on a new IP. We've heard that they are working on some sort of a comedy live service game. That's all I've heard. Is something like a little bit more. I'm assuming maybe like more like a Borderlands type thing. I don't know.
That could be cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I like comedy. I love to laugh. But yeah, there's a lot of speculation.
So there's a bit of irony about this acquisition overall, because Bungie that was the studio that made the Xbox famous with the Halo series back in the day.
Yeah.
And I don't know how we got from point A to point B. Sony buying the creators of Halo. I'm going to do some research. I'm going to make a Game Facts video about it.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear, because I don't know, I don't know the history of Bungie, like how they went from one point to one point. But yeah, it's very interesting. And it, like you said, just they created the biggest thing on the Xbox, and then they went and created Destiny, and like I don't know anything else that they've done. I don't know any other.
Not really either.
Yeah. So yeah, report back. Let me know what you find. What, you got anything else to add on this before we move on?
Nah.
All right, let's move on. We already talked about Microsoft's acquisition. Let's talk about something relating that. So the U.S. Federal Trade Commission will be reviewing the Microsoft Blizzard acquisition. So basically what that means is they're going to be just kind of going over it, make sure that it's okay, that it's not something that could be harmful to consumers, that sort of thing. That it's basically this has been happening quite a bit recently. So the FTC has been focusing on large tech company mergers. So they've stopped a couple big ones. They reviewed a ton more, and this is one that kind of drew their attention. Now, this was a big one, but it's interesting that when it's all said and done, it's a video game acquisition, and the FTC, they're getting in there, getting involved with these video games. But the reason for that is they want to determine whether it could be harmful to consumers, rivals, partners, as far as them setting prices or wages, because it's a huge deal. So that's I'm not expecting anything
really
from it.
it shouldn't come as a surprise, especially not to Microsoft. They've been kind of open about this from the beginning since they announced the acquisition, that they plan for this to take 18 months. And the reason is not because they don't have the money, it's because they don't know if they're going to be allowed to spend that money, because they operate, both them and Activision Blizzard operate in so many different markets under different governments that it is just a legal nightmare. But they say they're going to have it probably solved up by the end of the middle of next year, I guess.
Yeah. Can you imagine having to like be part of that? Like, there's so many just moving parts and stuff like that. Like, I can't even wrap my head around it, let alone like know even how to begin processing that or reviewing it if I'm the FTC. You know, it's crazy stuff. But it's a big merger, big acquisition. So it was kind of expected, and really, I don't think anything is gonna come from this review. But it's just like another stepping stone in getting this whole thing done, like you said. So. All right, and then speaking of Microsoft, Xbox, Game Pass, we're talking about the new February Game Pass games just announced. So another big month, not any huge titles this month, but a lot of really cool titles. They are Dreamscaper, comes out February 3rd, Contrast, February 3rd, Telling Lies, Besiege, Crossfire X, Edge of Eternity, Skull the Hero Slayer, The Last Kids on Earth, and The Staff of Doom. Those all come out February 10th. And then Ark Ultimate Survivor Edition, Infernax, both come out February 14th. And then Total War Warhammer 3, February 17th. So, yeah, those, they come out for different, some are for cloud, some are console, some are PC, some are all of the above. But any of those sound exciting to you? Any you plan on checking out?
Well, when we watched the Game Awards and they announced that Warhammer Space Marine 3, that sort of opened me up to the idea of those games.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this Warhammer game is the same type as that, but I might check that out just to see what that might be like ahead of time.
Yeah, I'm not certain. This one might be a strategy game, because I know some of them are. And then some of them aren't, like, that third-person action game, like the one you were talking about. Yeah, so I'm not certain what this one is. Out of these, I played Contrast a while ago. That one came out a long time ago. That was an interesting game. You kind of like mess with shadows and use those as a platformer. The other one that sounded cool was this Dreamscaper game. Now, that one I'm not. It was like something about you had to do something in like your dreams in order for it to and then it takes shape in the day or in the for you to do. It sounded really trippy.
I like it. Yeah.
And then like Telling Lies looked really cool. That's one of those like live action hybrids where it's like you kind of control what's happening on screen. It's more like a movie. Yeah, so those are the ones. And then I guess the Edge of Eternity is kind of a JRPG-ish title. So those ones drew my attention. I've never played Ark. That was always one that I think I could get into Ark. There's dinosaurs. You got to build stuff.
Looks really cool.
Yeah, that's one. I mean, it's the Ultimate Survivor Edition, too. So that's, anything with Ultimate in it, it's where it's at, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, those are the first half of February. Again, we're going to be receiving the news about the second half of February at some point down the line. More exciting new titles coming to Game Pass, so just keep an eye out for that. All right, and next up, we've got good news for anybody that uses a subscription service like Netflix or Game Pass. There was an investigation by the UK's Competition and Markets Authority, the CMA, and they found that companies were kind of taking advantage of people that had already subscribed that didn't, maybe like they let their subscription you just let it go and they weren't using the service, that sort of thing. So they decided that we're gonna review some of these companies that are allowing this to happen, and one of those companies was Microsoft and regarding the Game Pass service. So after this review, after this investigation was completed, Microsoft said they're going to make some changes to the Game Pass subscription program that will make it easier for subscribers to cancel the service, and will stop taking payments for subscriptions that go dormant. So that's really cool. This is good news for, I mean, this is just like one step. It just happens to be Game Pass, but I'm expecting this, to kind of branch out into a lot of other subscription services. So it started with, so the CMA said that it first identified concerns about certain features of Microsoft's auto-renewing subscriptions, and those concerns included clarity about automatic subscription renewal, ease of disabling automatic renewals, and whether customers may be unwittingly paying for old subscriptions that they were no longer using, which I did shut off my auto-subscribe thing. I swear I did. And then it auto-subscribed me for another month. This was a couple months ago.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, you son of a bee sting. But, yeah, Microsoft.
It's like that.
Yeah. Microsoft said they're committed to making changes. Some of the changes that they are announcing are better upfront information. They want more transparency to help customers understand the membership that they're signing up for. Refunds. Microsoft will contact existing customers on recurring 12-month contracts and give them the option to end their contract and claim a pro-rated refund. Inactive memberships. Microsoft will also contact existing customers who haven't used their memberships for a long time but are still paying. These customers will be reminded how to stop payment. And then, if they want, they can opt out. And then better information about price increases. Microsoft will give clear notifications of any future price rises and will ensure people know how to turn off auto renewal. So, really cool stuff. Now, this is, like I said, it's a UK authority that did this investigation, and this is going to start in the UK, but it will be rolled out globally for Microsoft. So, we just talked about how big Microsoft is and how much reach they have in the world. So hopefully a lot of these other services will follow suit. We need some good guys out there, right?
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. I've had the same issue before, Xbox and PlayStation. If you do actually take the time to read the little fine print and check the box that says it's okay to keep billing me perpetually, even if you do that, to get it undone, like going in through your console was practically just, you can't do it. Like, you'd get to the final little point, it's like, oh, click this link, and then the link just doesn't work for 2 years.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I think they want to make you jump through as many hoops as possible so that you just give up on it and you just keep getting charged for it. So the more of this, the better. I'm glad that Xbox is actually going to do it internationally, not just the UK where they have to. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it really is. It's something that, like, I never thought it would get to that. Like, anytime, this has happened to me many times before, where a subscription I signed up for, I know what I'm getting into most of the time with these. I know what's going to, like, happen, and I just kind of absentmindedly, like, forget to cancel or whatever. And I never thought that businesses would be proactive in trying to help the consumer with these, because it's like you said, it's in that fine print there. We know what we're getting into, but, we don't really always pay attention to that when we're signing up for something. So it's really cool that they're going to take the initiative and try to make some changes regarding how that's done.
Yeah. One weird thought on it, like, how much are these companies making every year from people who have passed away? Because that money doesn't just disappear. It's just getting perpetually charged until, their will is executed.
Exactly, until their bank account is, in the negative or whatever it was. Yeah, that's a good point.
Some debt for the family. Happy.
Exactly. Go play.
Just to make things better.
Go play Game Pass. It is interesting. My PlayStation Now. I signed up for PlayStation Now when COVID started, and I thought for, I think, 4 months that I was like, I had PlayStation Now 4 months ago. Don't have it anymore. And then I went and saw one day that it was, I still had it, and I was like, shit, I could have been playing this for 4 months, but also, shit, they charged me another $60 or whatever for this for the year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is what it is. All right, let's talk about another very exciting announcement. We finally got information on the Halo TV series that has been long awaited, long in the works, been being created for a very, very long time. There was a commercial recently. It was a trailer for the new series. Looked awesome. Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Dude, it looks good. I'm not even a Halo fan, and I was like really excited. So I'm sure a lot more people that are much more familiar with the world and the lore got a lot more out of it, because it did seem like there was a lot of like little Easter eggs and stuff like that. You know, I know they showed that, like, what is it, the plasma sword or whatever, and Cortana, the same voice that's in the game as in the show. So yeah, it's gonna be really cool. We also got a date, March 24th is when it premieres, Paramount Plus. So yeah, put it on your calendars. This looks like it's gonna be a really good show. I'm hopeful. Anyways, fingers crossed.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I know that it's not going to be set in the canon of the games. I don't know though, because I think the games are based on series of novels. I don't know if it's going to share some more in common with those.
Oh, I didn't even know that. That's interesting.
I think you're following John Spartan 117, like the OG Master Chief.
Okay, yeah, I know there's Master Chief. I didn't even know there was not an OG Master Chief. So is that just a title for, like...
Well, there are other Spartans.
But I mean, is Master Chief just one guy, or has there been more Master Chiefs?
You'd think that there would be if there were like a whole army of Spartans at one point, but I don't know. I'm not deep into Halo.
Yeah. There's just I mean, this guy's he's on his way to become Master Chief. He's just kind of like just a simple chief. He's not a Master Chief yet. He's just like just a regular chief.
Yeah,
he's working his way up to be a master. And then there's a Master Chef, and that's a whole different thing. That is a television show that already exists.
I was gonna say, if they ever come out with a show like that,
yeah, exactly. They should have a crossover, Master Chief on Master Chef, to promote the show. Enough about that. The big news of the week: New York Times bought Wordle. What does this mean for gaming?
The most important acquisition of the year.
Exactly. This was a big one. Now, if you're not familiar, Wordle is a online word game. You get to play once a day. There's a one word. You got to try to figure out what the word is by, Wheel of Fortune style guessing of letters. It's a lot of fun. I wish there was more than one a day. I could, really get into it. But New York Times bought them for a low 7 figures. We're not certain of the exact amount, but that's a lot considering. I mean, this is just some dude created this website, put it out there free for the public to, there's no ads, nothing. It's just Wordle. And I found out the guy's last name is Wardle.
Yeah.
Which was interesting because it's already a great Wordle. It's confusing. But the New York Times did say they initially the game will remain free. That's all they said. And those words I don't like. Initially.
Yeah, put that in bold. Initially.
Yeah. Like what? I mean, it's the same thing when I tried to look up this story. I go to their website and I can't read the story because I need to have a subscription to New York Times, or I need to put in my email address to read this thing. And I'm like, this is what Wordle, with long, R.I.P. Wordle. At some point, but
so this seems like New York Times attempts to move into the 21st century a little further, because they are print has been dying for decades now. They're famous for having the New York Times crossword puzzle, so maybe they're just trying to branch out on that.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem like a good fit for sure. Like, New York Times does a lot of like word puzzles and that sort of thing. I could see this actually being in, the New York Times. Does that still exist? Is there a print copy still exist?
No idea.
But like there's the New York Times crossword puzzle app that you can get, and you could play a whole bunch. They got a new one every day and that sort of thing. And I'm assuming that's what's going to happen with this. Throw in the app, throw some ads, maybe still do a new one every day. As long as it keeps my stats, dude. The one online, my stats reset all the time, and it's frustrating. But yeah.
Well, have you played Loodle?
No, I haven't.
It's a clone with dirty words.
Yes.
I played it for a little bit. I had to stop because I'm a pure Christian boy, and I don't know that many dirty words either.
I keep meaning to check it out. So Gary Whitta created this. He's he's a guy behind. He's a video game producer, and he wrote Star Wars Rogue One, and I remember he was talking about it on another podcast about the creation of this game. I was like, I got to check it out, and I still haven't. Yeah, I can't have my my sensitive eyes seeing these dirty words.
Yeah.
So, yes, that is exciting for word nerds all over the world. Keep an eye out for what the New York Times is going to do to our beloved Wordle. All right, that is it for our news this week. Did I miss anything? Is there it was a lot to talk about. I cruised right through it. What did I miss? Anything?
I don't know. I mean, refresh the news and somebody else will have bought another company.
It's true. It is true.
For now,
there is.
Yeah, I think we've got it.
There was a lot going on this week. I had to pare it down to include the big things like Halo TV series and Wordle acquisition.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on to our brand new content creator of the week. Our new content creator of the week is Darth Rejects. He is a Twitch streamer. He's got a YouTube channel. He is playing a lot of first-person shooters. He plays Apex, Call of Duty, Halo, and he's a Marine. He's fighting for the country, and he loves anime. These are all things I deduced from looking at his videos. So, not only that, he's got a fun Twitch stream. He's doing his thing. He's playing his games. He's yelling at people. It's a lot of fun. And he's good at it. He's really good at these Calls of Duties and these Apex Legends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, good stuff. And it's nice to see over time he's really improved his content and he's becoming really, really interesting to watch.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, go check him out. Definitely. He's on Twitch all the time. Watch his videos on Fruit Lab. And, definitely give him a follow.
Darth, if you want to repay us for the shout-out, I do like those Japan-exclusive Gundam kits.
Oh, I knew you'd be all over those. Yeah, this dude, he's stationed in Japan. And, it seems perfect for him because he's got the anime and, the Gundam stuff. So he's out there. He's a Marine, but he's reaping the benefits of being out there, it seems, Oh, yeah. So good for him. He's doing what he loves, and he's good at it. All right. That's it for our show. FC, what else? What am I forgetting?
Big one.
A big one.
Yeah, we've got a wheel of names.
I love all praise the wheel. Let's do it. I'm excited. Now, this is we've had this before. It's our way of giving back to the Gaming News Weekly community. We want to say thank you for for watching our content, leaving comments, and just letting us know what you think of the show. So. Fire it up. Let's see who we're rewarding this evening. Oh, that looks good. You said there's no sound though for this, right? You told me I got to make the sound.
Yeah. Here we go.
What's a wheel sound like?
Something like that.
Okay.
Click, 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 click.
Click.
All
Right.
Right.
I'm gonna change it up a little bit. I'm gonna make my own sound.
All right. You say the word, and I'm spinning.
All right. Fire it up. Cinematic walkthrough. Bang!
All right, yeah, and so you might notice that some people are on here twice. The content that I used was the last full episode and our first slice from this past week. So if you left a comment on either or both of those, you're on here. If you did leave a comment on both, then you're on here more than once. That is the case with Cinematic Walkthrough, so we're going to remove his first instance, but he still has another chance to win.
Congratulations, Cinematic Walkthrough. All right, do it again.
All right. All right.
I didn't make the sound. I'll make the sound, though. Mikuru. Congratulations.
Really close to Nick 9 there.
Yeah, Nick 9, you stink. You blew it. Mikuru is the champion.
All right. Congrats, Mikuru.
Mikuru. All right, let it go again. I want to see red. Come up, red. Come on, red. Come on. Ooh, purple. He's a bad boy. Bad boy 3420.
Every bad boy has his day.
How many of these are we doing?
Do you want to do 2 more?
Yeah, let's do 5. Let's do
All
it.
right.
All right. It's coming up. It's coming up blue this time. There he is. Nick 9 does not suck. I take it back.
There we go.
Nick 9 is a champion. He's a god amongst men. And, you know, it might not even be he. It might be Nicole 9. I shouldn't assume these things. Nick 9, congratulations. All right, last spin of the wheel. Let's see who it's going to be.
Here we go.
Ooh, I'm so excited.
Oh.
The crappiest one. The crappy gamer. Congratulations. Very exciting.
That's pretty good. I don't want to play favorites, but definitely one of our best commenters.
Yeah, and he's amazing. Everything he does. He's the best. He's the best in the world. All right, that was fun. I like doing the big spinny wheel. If you want to get your name on the big spinny wheel, all you got to do is just watch our show, leave a comment, tell us what you love, what you don't love. You know, talk about our beards. Look at that. Look at your beard's looking good, dude. It's starting. It's getting real full.
Letting it grow back out.
Yeah, I like it. All right, that's all I got for this week. Let's end this. We're going long here.
Oh yeah.
All right. Thank you for checking out this week's episode. My name is Erect the Red. This guy's Full Clip. I'm on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, in addition to Fruit Lab, obviously, as Pop Culture Playground. I'm out there. You can check out my YouTube. This guy, go watch him on Twitch. He's FullClip_FL. Yeah, if you want to just listen to the show, and if you're commuting, if you're on a train somewhere, if you're in a car somewhere, and you just want to listen to our beautiful voices, download our podcast anywhere podcasts are found. Gaming News Weekly, GNW. We make it easy for you. And that's all I got. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode. And come back next week. We got more of that sweet video game news that you need to know.